Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking about Grapple Fest 11. Grapple Fest 11 is going to be at the usual place, Fusion Nightclub in Fleet Street in Liverpool. It's going to be on Saturday, the 26th of February. Now, doors open, I believe, about 3:30, and the first event or the first matchup, I think, kicks off around about 4 p.m. So, Grapple Fest are very, very punctual. So, hopefully that first match should kick off at 4 p.m. So, promises to be a great night of grappling matches. Obviously, we've got the prelim card and then obviously going on to the main card. The big theme for it is Daisy Fresh versus Europe. So Daisy Fresh is coming over with a team of absolute animals. So these guys are coming and they're ready to go. So my next guest is going to be on the card, Tad Cravens. Now, Tad is going to be up against Sam Barker. So obviously both absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Tad recently coming off of, I believe, winning the World's No Gi. So had a fantastic run out of the World's No Gi. So we'll obviously hear a little bit about that as well. Now, the event as well, it's going to be on Flow Grappling. So make sure you get yourself subscribed to Flow Grappling so you can see the event. The tickets are all sold out, so there is no tickets available at all for sale. So Tad, listen, absolute pleasure to have you on. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, listen, absolutely love you guys at Daisy Fresh. Obviously, I got to speak to Jared just a few days ago, and then obviously chatting with you as well. Obviously today on Messenger. So absolutely love you guys at Daisy Fresh. You come with a different kind of mentality and a different style than what we see in traditional jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, we try to just bring the heat, keep the pressure going. Pressure is what breaks everyone, so we just try to stay in their face and get to our offense first.
Yes, yes. And then what about you? How's your training been so far this year?
That's good. It's I'm actually coaching Jared. I'm one of Jared's coaches with Alejandro and Michael Pixley. So um, aside from our 2 training sessions a day, we also get a third one in right in between the 2 with the high schoolers. So
Yeah.
So the last few months has been a little more than usual, but it's all going good.
Definitely.
We're taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously with you then, how long have you been at Pedigo now?
Next month is going to be 2 years.
2 years. I did watch a video. I saw I think it was after the World No Gi, where you did a video and you said that in your head, your jiu-jitsu journey began 2 years ago when you walked into Heath's gym.
Yeah.
You said that everything before that you said, in your words, was bullshit.
Yeah. All my wrestling experience was good, but the jiu-jitsu I did before, it kind of got me ready. I wasn't like a brand new white belt when I got here, but it seems like everything I learned prior to being here, I don't even use. So I felt brand new whenever I got here. For about 3 to 6 months, I just got my ass whipped. So it was rough. It was a rough beginning.
Yeah, yeah. But it was enjoyable. I mean, you're now reaping the benefits of obviously everything that you've done over the last 2 years.
Yeah, this is what I look for. Being a wrestler, it's always been a really hard pace, So I was able to keep up, and I've been doing this for a long time, so I know how to drill and I know how to catch up. I feel like I closed the gap pretty quick, so it wasn't too bad. But there's a lot of killers in this room.
Yes, so there definitely is. There definitely is. So, and then what about you then coming over to the UK? Is this going to be your first time in the UK?
Yeah, it's going to be my first time out of the country, period. In the last 2 years, I've traveled way more than I ever have in my whole life. I hadn't even really been to the West Coast. So I just got to go to California. I had never been to Texas. I'd only been to Florida once. I've been there multiple times. So it's cool, man. Just in 2 years, I've done a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah. So obviously coming over to Liverpool now, I was saying to Jared, bring some warm clothes with you because the UK can be very, very cold in the winter. Anytime throughout the year.
Yeah, it's getting pretty cold over here now, so I think I'll be prepared. Hopefully.
Yes. Well, listen, until you get here, the UK can get very cold. So
Yeah,
you've probably never had cold like this before. So yeah, bring some good warm clothes with you. So
yeah, I'll bring an extra
um,
coat.
yes, and then you guys are going to be travelling as well. I mean, we were talking before. There's going to be quite a few seminars, obviously, around the UK that you're going to be going to, obviously, with Daisy Fresh.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the area. I don't know how far apart everything is. So I do know we're gonna be, as far as I know, I think there's 3 other seminars we're doing, and there's probably gonna be more. So I think it
Yeah,
seems like every other day we're gonna be traveling somewhere new.
yeah. Listen, people, everybody loves you in the UK. Everybody loves Daisy Fresh. Obviously, we got to see the documentary that was on Flow Grappling. So we saw that. Absolutely awesome. I mean, you guys, when you look at what you guys do, obviously sleeping in the gym and everything you do, that's old school jiu-jitsu. That's the way
Hmm.
jiu-jitsu was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. No, we're ready to be there. I'm actually I'm in my van right now. My van's parked right outside the gym, so this is where I stay every day. I'm always at the
Yeah,
gym.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And then, what about obviously the matchup then? So Grapple Fest 11. So how did you find out that you were going to be on Grapple Fest?
Um, well, I knew there was talk about it. Well, the first time I'd ever seen Grapple Fest was just this last card when I guess Dante Couch and George were on.
Yeah,
And then directly after that, they said they wanted to have them back on and they wanted to bring more guys. So I had talked to Heath about it and I was hoping to get on. And then um, I guess the Grapple Fest page posted that I would be having a match against Sam. So that's how I found out about it.
Jared said the same. Jared said
Yeah.
he didn't know until he read the actual lineup that he was going to be on, and he saw it and he thought, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, that's what it was. We play a
Yes,
lot of shit by ear here.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So there was no plan. It was just in case you. Obviously, Heath obviously knows what level you guys are at and so on. So Heath's quite happy just to throw you guys in. So um,
We don't
but
really have any time off. We try to stay ready for anything.
yeah, yeah.
This is what we
I
do.
know.
Like I live here, so I'm training every day.
Yeah, and you mentioned two, 3 times a day. I mean, how? I mean, how do you keep up? How do you keep motivated with all the training that you're doing?
Uh, I don't know. This is just what I want to do. It's not like it wasn't like college wrestling where I kind of had to be there. This is where I want to be. I'm here with all my friends, and not every practice is balls to the wall. So I still wrestle with the high schoolers, but not every time I go live, or sometimes I'll only
Yeah,
drill with them, or we know when to taper off, and Heath takes care of us. He knows when to taper us down.
yeah,
So
yeah,
not every day is live.
yeah. No, definitely. And then, what about your opponent? I mean, do you ever look up your opponent to see who they are or what they've done, or are you just happy to go in and just do your thing?
Yeah, I try not to look. Uh, this is probably only my second super fight, I guess you would call it. So
Yeah,
usually it's just tournament format. I never really know who I'm going against until right before. So I try not to think about it too much. I try to just focus on what I think I'm good at and
yeah,
get to my offense and use my game plan.
yeah. And then we watched as I said, I watched the video from the Nogi Worlds. So I think it was the final you were in, and I mean, how was the feeling? Obviously, when you won the Nogi Worlds.
It was nice. It was a long day. I had 6 matches. I only won by an advantage, so I don't want to say I wasn't excited because it's a world championship. I was really happy I won, but I kind of wanted to do a little more. I kind of had a little injury a couple matches prior, so I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to do.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I made it happen, so I was
because
happy.
that because that was the final, and I mean, obviously you just won the Nogi Worlds, but you didn't look very excited. I don't know if you
Yeah,
remember the video. You didn't, because obviously you see people when they win, they're jumping about, and screaming, and jumping into the crowd, whereas you were just calm, collected, and yeah, just absolutely chilled out.
yeah. I held a little bit back. I didn't want to get too emotional, but like I said, a win's a win. But I didn't feel like I should get too crazy over an advantage win.
Yeah,
I wanted to do
yeah,
a little bit more, but
yeah.
It is
And
what it
that's
is.
one thing. And that's one thing about you. I mean, when you look at your record on things like smooth comp and so on, I mean, you always look for the submission. So you always want
Mhm.
to submit your opponent. I know that your submission percentage is quite high.
Yeah, and that just comes with the pressure. I just try to stay in their face, and eventually, most of them will break.
Yeah, yeah. And
So
then what
and
about?
it doesn't matter if it's a 10-minute match. I'll wait until 9 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not a sprint.
definitely. And then what about 2022? So obviously we've got Grapple Fest 11 just next month. So what's your plans for this year then, Tad?
Um, that's kind of what we're looking at so far, and then I plan to do the West Coast trials in April. So I'm just
Yeah,
kind of focused on those two. Right now, I have to
yeah,
cut a little bit of weight, so I'm not trying to do too much.
yeah.
Trying to just
And
keep
then
my body in check.
yeah. And is it yourself that plans the competitions, or would Heath say, "Well, look, guys, we're going to go and do this comp or that comp"? So what kind of plan goes into place for competitions?
Anything we see, usually we don't go alone. So if a couple of us see something we want to do, we'll run it by Heath, and if he thinks it's good, if he thinks it'll be worth it or we can make it happen, we'll do that.
Yeah, yeah,
Obviously, Grapple Fest and trials are pretty big, so he was already in, and it just depends on who wanted to be in as well.
yeah, definitely. And then kind of final thing for you then. So I mean, obviously you've been in the game for a few years. Obviously jiu-jitsu and then obviously wrestling before that. So anybody you want to shout out to? So any kind of friends, family members, teammates, things like that.
Um, just everybody here, really, Heath especially. My parents, my grandparents, they were the ones that always took me to the wrestling tournaments and wrestling camps, and they were my big support system. My brother got me into it all, so those guys. Marshall Roberts is the one that brought me over here, and then just everybody here at Daisy Fresh. These are my best friends. I see these guys every day,
Yeah.
so without a lot of them and without Heath, none of this would be happening.
Definitely, definitely. Well, listen, Tad, it's been an absolute pleasure. I know we booked this kind of last minute. I think it was like 2 hours ago.
Yeah,
We booked this call.
yeah,
So normally people want a couple of days or so on, but you were like, do you know what? Let's do it now. So
yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you very much for that. So
Of course, man. It's Sunday. I'm just chilling here in my van until 5 o'clock. We do gi at 5, so I've
yeah.
just been hanging out watching South Park. I'm happy,
Nice, nice. Well, listen, I
happy to
know that
do it.
you're Yeah, listen, I know you're going to
Yeah,
be coming up to Glasgow in Scotland, so obviously coming to my coach's gym, MNBJJ. So I know that obviously I'm excited to see all the Daisy Fresh guys coming over, and I know that obviously everybody in Scotland are very excited to see you guys as well. So listen, guys, Grapple Fest 11, 26th of February, so Saturday, 26th of February. It's going to be Daisy Fresh versus Europe. So that's going to be Fusion Nightclub, Fleet Street in Liverpool. Now tickets are all sold out. You can only get you can only get to view it through Flow Grappling. So make sure you go on Flow Grappling and get subscribed, and make sure you choose that monthly payment option, because if you do want to cancel after the event, you will be able to if you have chosen that monthly payment option. So listen, Tad, thank you very much again, sir. Absolute pleasure to speak to you.
yeah. I'm happy to be on, man. Thank you. I'm looking forward to
Bro.
it.
Yeah. Listen, let the boys know as well. I mean, Jacob, I know we've got Jacob Brooks, we've got Jacob Couch, and a few other ones as well. So we're going to get them on as well. So very
Cool.
excited to speak to everybody at Daisy
Yeah,
Fresh. So,
they're
all
talkers,
right.
man. It'll be a good time to have them on.
Nice. But listen, stay safe, train safe as well, and we'll see you next month, Tad.
Cool, man. Looking forward to it.
All right. Take it easy, buddy.
Yep. Bye bye.